Captain Zextar stared at the empty star map. His four eyes could not believe what he was seeing. 12 red dots should have been there. 12 mighty fleets should have been sending victory signals. Instead, there was nothing but dark space. "Sir," his aide whispered, "the Galactic Council is calling an emergency meeting." Zextar's scales turned cold blue. In 300 years, the Council had never called an emergency meeting. Never. The Council chamber was filled with fear. Leaders from 50 different worlds sat in silence. Their usual proud voices were quiet. Their confident faces showed worry. High Commander Vrak stood at the center. His massive form shook as he spoke. "Fellow leaders, we have a problem. A big problem." The hologram above them showed Earth, a small blue and green planet. It looked peaceful. It looked harmless. 6 months ago, we sent the first fleet to conquer this world called Earth, Vrak continued. 1,000 ships, our best warriors. They had orders to bring back slaves and resources. The room stayed quiet. Everyone knew what was coming next. The first fleet never returned. No signals, no messages, nothing. A leader from the bird-like aviac species stood up. Maybe they had technical problems. Space travel can be dangerous. Vrak's red eyes glowed. That's what we thought too. So we sent the second fleet, 2,000 ships this time. More weapons, better shields. The hologram showed another fleet disappearing into the darkness around Earth. The second fleet also vanished. So we sent a third, then a fourth, then more. The numbers appeared on the screen, fleet after fleet, each one bigger than the last. Each one gone forever. 12 fleets, Vrak said slowly. 12 of our most powerful forces. Over 50,000 ships, 2 million of our best warriors. All gone. A young leader from the Zephyr colonies stood up. Her voice shook. Maybe they're still fighting? Maybe the battle is taking longer than expected? We thought that too, Vrak replied. But look at this. The hologram changed. It now showed Earth's solar system from far away. Space telescopes had been watching from a safe distance. Our sensors show no battle, no explosions, no energy weapons firing. The system looks quiet. Captain Zextar felt his blood freeze. Quiet was worse than battle. Quiet meant the fighting was over. And if there was no victory signal from their fleets, what about the humans? Asked another leader. What do we know about them? An intelligence officer stepped forward. They are primitive, sir. They barely have space travel. Their weapons are simple. They fight each other more than they fight external threats. On paper, they should be easy to defeat. On paper, Vrak repeated. But our fleets are still gone. The chamber erupted in worried voices. Some leaders wanted to send even bigger fleets. Others wanted to forget about Earth completely. A few suggested using planet-destroying weapons from far away. Captain Zextar stood up. His voice cut through the noise. I volunteer to go. The room went silent. All eyes turned to him. Not to attack, he continued. To scout. To see what happened to our fleets. To learn the truth. Commander Vrak looked at him carefully. It could be suicide, Captain. Maybe, Zextar replied. But we need to know. We can't keep sending fleets into the dark. We need information. What kind of scout mission? Vrak asked. A small ship. Fast and quiet. Stay hidden. Use sensors to see what happened. Don't engage the humans. Just watch and report back. The council talked for hours. Some said it was too risky. Others said they needed to know the truth. Finally, they voted. Captain Zextar, Commander Vrak announced, you have permission for a reconnaissance mission to the Earth system. Take your best crew. Stay hidden. Find out what happened to our fleets. 3 days later, Captain Zextar stood on the bridge of his scout ship, the Silent Runner. His crew was nervous but ready. They were all experienced soldiers who had fought in many wars. Captain, said his weapons officer, surely these humans can't be that dangerous. Look at their planet. No orbital defenses, no battle stations, no massive shipyards. That's what the other fleets probably thought, Zextar replied quietly. His navigator plotted the course to Earth. Ready for jump, sir. Take us to the edge of their solar system, Zextar ordered. Maximum stealth. I want to see everything before they see us. The ship jumped through hyperspace. Stars blurred past them. In a few hours, they would reach the answers they sought. But as they traveled through the darkness, Captain Zextar couldn't shake one thought. If 12 fleets couldn't return from Earth, what made him think one small scout ship could? The answer to that question would change everything he believed about war, about strength, and about the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Earth was waiting. Captain Zextar's ship dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. What he saw made his blood turn to ice. Floating in the darkness were the broken remains of 12 mighty fleets. Twisted metal drifted like a graveyard of stars. Ships that once carried thousands of warriors were now empty shells. The sight was terrible and beautiful at the same time. "By the ancient gods," whispered his navigator. "What happened here?" Zextar moved closer to the wreckage. His sensors scanned the destroyed ships. The readings made no sense. These weren't battle damages from energy weapons or explosives. The ships looked like they had been outsmarted. "Sir," his communication officer called out, "I'm picking up old data logs from the First Fleet's flagship." "Put it on screen," Zextar ordered. The hologram showed Admiral Corax, the proud leader of the First Fleet. He was standing on his command bridge 6 months ago. His voice was full of confidence. "Personal log day 1, the recording began. We have arrived at the human world. Initial scans show a primitive species. No orbital defenses, no battle stations. Their largest weapons are simple chemical rockets. This will be the easiest conquest in galactic history." Zextar's crew laughed. They had heard stories about Admiral Corax. He was arrogant but never wrong. His victories filled the history books. The recording continued. "The humans are sending radio signals. They want to talk. They're offering to surrender without a fight. Smart choice. We'll accept their surrender and begin the occupation." "See?" said Zextar's weapons officer. The humans gave up immediately. "So what went wrong?" The recording jumped to day 2. Admiral Corax looked pleased. "The humans have agreed to meet on their moon. They're bringing their leaders to sign surrender papers. They seem scared of our power, as they should be." But something in the Admiral's eyes had changed. He looked confused. Day 3, the recording continued. "The surrender ceremony went well. The human leaders signed all our papers. They agreed to become our slaves. They're giving us their soldiers as prisoners. Everything is going according to plan." Zextar frowned. If everything went according to plan, where was the First Fleet? The recording jumped again. Now Admiral Corax looked worried. Day 5, something strange is happening. The human prisoners are helpful. Too helpful. They're showing us their cities. They're giving us maps of their defenses. They're telling us about their weapons. "That sounds normal," said the navigator. "Defeated enemies often cooperate." But the recording continued, and Admiral Corax's voice grew tense. Day 7, the humans led us to their military bases. They said they wanted to surrender all their weapons. But when we got there, the bases were empty. The weapons were gone. The humans just smiled and said they made a mistake. Zextar felt a chill run down his spine. Day 10, Admiral Corax continued. "We're starting to understand. The humans didn't make mistakes. They led us exactly where they wanted us to go. Away from their real weapons, away from their real defenses, away from their real leaders." The recording showed the Admiral's face clearly now. Fear had replaced confidence. Day 12. "We tried to return to our ships. The humans said they would guide us back, but the routes they showed us, they led us in circles. We've been walking for days. Our supplies are running low. And the humans, they keep smiling." Zextar's crew stopped laughing. They were listening carefully now. Day 15. "We finally found our landing site, but our shuttles are gone. The humans say they moved them to a safer location. They offered to help us find them. We followed their directions. We found the shuttles at the bottom of a lake." The Admiral's voice cracked with anger and fear. "The humans planned this from the beginning. The surrender was fake. The cooperation was fake. Everything was a trap designed to separate us from our ships." Day 20. "Half our ground forces are lost in human cities. The other half is scattered across their planet. Every time we ask for directions, the humans send us the wrong way. Every time we ask for help, they make things worse, and they keep apologizing. They keep saying it's just a mistake." Admiral Corax's final recording was barely a whisper. Day 25. "We understand now. The humans don't fight like we do. They don't meet us in honest battle. They fight with lies and tricks and smiles. They turned our own strength against us. They made us destroy ourselves." The recording ended with static. Captain Zextar stared at the empty space where the First Fleet used to be. His crew was silent. They finally understood what happened. The humans didn't defeat them with weapons. Zextar said slowly. They defeated them with cleverness. They made the Admiral's own confidence into a trap. But sir, his weapons officer asked, that's just one fleet. What about the other 11? Zextar's sensors found another data log. This one was from the 2nd Fleet's commander, then another from the 3rd Fleet. Each recording told the same story. Each fleet thought they had learned from the previous fleet's mistakes. They were all wrong. The humans had been learning too, and they learned faster. Zextar realized the terrible truth. The 12 fleets weren't just defeated. They were lessons. Each one taught the humans something new about alien tactics. Each one made the humans stronger and smarter. Sir, his scanner operator called out, I'm detecting movement near Earth. On the screen, small ships were rising from the blue planet. Human ships. They were heading toward the wreckage of the alien fleets. Are they coming to attack us? Asked the navigator. Captain Zextar watched the human ships carefully. They weren't moving like warships. They were moving like students, coming to study their latest classroom. No, he whispered. They're coming to learn. Captain Zextar watched the human ships move through the wreckage like hunters studying their prey. His sensors picked up more data logs from the destroyed fleets. Each one told a different story. Each one showed how the humans adapted to every new threat. Sir, his communications officer said, I found recordings from the 2nd Fleet. Admiral Vexcan was sure he could avoid the 1st Fleet's mistakes. The hologram showed a different alien commander. Admiral Vexcan was known throughout the galaxy for his careful planning. He never rushed into battle. He always had backup plans. Personal log, Admiral Vexcan, 2nd Fleet, the recording began. I have studied the 1st Fleet's failure. Admiral Corax was too trusting. He believed the human surrender too quickly. I will not make the same mistake. Zextar's crew nodded. This made sense. Learn from the past. Don't trust the enemy. I am approaching Earth with different tactics. Vexcan continued. No surrender meetings. No ground operations. I will attack from space. Destroy their cities from orbit. Force them to submit through fear. Smart plan, whispered the weapons officer. Humans can't trick you if you don't get close to them. But the recording continued, and Admiral Vexcan's confidence began to crack. Day 3, something is wrong. My orbital bombardment hit their cities perfectly, but the explosions were different, too big, too bright. It's like the humans put explosives in their own buildings to make our attack look more destructive. Captain Zextar felt cold. They made fake targets? Day 5. Vexcan's voice was shaking now. The humans are broadcasting messages to my fleet. They're thanking us for destroying their military bases. But intelligence reports say those weren't military bases. They were old buildings they wanted to tear down anyway. The recording showed Vexcan's confused face. The humans are acting like we did them a favor. They're rebuilding faster than we can destroy. And their new buildings are stronger than the old ones. Day 8. I understand now. The humans wanted us to attack from space. They prepared for it. Every building we destroyed was empty. Every target we hit was bait. They've been watching our weapons and learning how they work. Zextar's crew was quiet now. They were starting to see the pattern. The recording jumped to the final entry. Day 12. The humans launched their own attack. Not with ships or weapons. With information. They broadcasted the exact location of every ship in my fleet. They told the galaxy about our attack plans. They made us look like monsters who kill innocent people. Admiral Vexcan's last words were bitter. Half my fleet deserted. They didn't want to be part of what looked like a massacre. The other half was destroyed by human ships that appeared from nowhere. Ships we never saw coming because we were looking at fake targets. The hologram switched to another recording. This one was from the 3rd Fleet, then the 4th. Each commander thought they had found the solution. Each one was wrong. The 3rd Fleet tried stealth attacks. The humans detected them anyway and led them into asteroid fields where the rocks destroyed their ships. The 4th Fleet tried negotiation. The humans agreed to peace talks that lasted for months while human scientists secretly studied alien technology from the wrecked fleets. The 5th Fleet tried overwhelming force. The humans scattered like insects, then regrouped behind the alien fleet and cut off their supply lines. Every single approach failed, Zextar realized. But how? How did the humans know what each fleet would do? His scanner operator found the answer in the 6th Fleet's logs. Sir, listen to this. Admiral Crexmore figured it out. The recording showed a frustrated alien commander. The humans have been studying us longer than we've been studying them. While we were conquering other worlds, they were watching us, learning our tactics, understanding how we think. Admiral Crexmore's voice was full of anger. Every war we fought, every victory we won, the humans were watching from the shadows. They know our standard attack patterns. They know our retreat procedures. They know our supply routes. We taught them everything without knowing it. Day 15. The humans don't fight like any species we've ever met. Other races fight to prove they're stronger. Humans fight to win. That's all that matters to them. Honor means nothing. Rules mean nothing. Only victory matters. Zextar's crew exchanged worried looks. In their culture, fighting had rules. Warriors faced each other with honor. Battle was about proving strength, not just winning. Day 20. I tried everything. Direct assault, stealth, siege, negotiation, psychological warfare. The humans had a counter for every strategy. It's like they wrote a book about how to defeat us before we even arrived. The final recordings from the later fleets were even more disturbing. The humans had stopped being defensive. They started being creative. The 7th Fleet was destroyed by their own weapons. The humans somehow turned the alien energy cannons against their owners. The 8th Fleet was defeated by economics. The humans convinced their supply ships to switch sides by offering better trade deals. The 9th Fleet never made it to Earth. The humans sent them false coordinates that led them into a black hole. Each defeat taught them something new, Zextar said quietly. Each fleet made them smarter, stronger, more dangerous. His communications officer found one final recording. It was from all 3 commanders of the final combined fleets. 10, 11, and 12 had worked together. Their combined force was massive, over 10,000 ships. We cannot fail, the 3 admirals said together. The humans have defeated single fleets through trickery, but they cannot trick this much firepower. We will surround their planet. We will attack from every direction at once. They cannot escape. They cannot hide. This time we will win. The recording ended there. Captain Zextar stared at the wreckage floating around him. 10,000 ships reduced to scrap metal. 3 admirals who were sure they couldn't lose. Sir, his navigator asked quietly, what could possibly defeat 10,000 ships working together? Before Zextar could answer, his sensors detected something that made his heart stop. New ships were approaching from Earth, but these weren't the small human vessels they had seen before. These ships were huge, and they looked familiar. Sir, his scanner operator whispered, those ships, they're using our technology, our weapons, our engines, but they're configured in ways we never thought possible. Captain Zextar realized the horrible truth. The humans hadn't just defeated 12 fleets. They had learned from them. Every piece of alien technology, every weapon design, every tactical system. The humans had built their own fleet using everything the aliens had taught them, and now they were coming to finish what the galaxy had started. Captain Zextar watched in horror as the human fleet approached. The ships were massive, sleek, and deadly, but what scared him most was how familiar they looked. Those were alien designs, his people's technology, but something was different about them. Sir, his engineer gasped. Those ships are using Corellian energy shields, Zephyr plasma cannons, and Aviax stealth systems. But they're all on the same ship. That should be impossible. Zextar knew why it should be impossible. Each alien race had spent thousands of years perfecting one type of technology. The Corellians were masters of defense. The Zephyrians specialized in weapons. The Aviax created the best stealth systems, but they never combined their technologies. It was too complex, too dangerous. How did the humans figure out what we couldn't? His weapons officer whispered. The answer came from the final data log. It was recorded by Admiral Korath of the 10th Fleet just hours before his defeat. Personal log, final entry. Admiral Korath's voice was filled with fear and amazement. I have discovered the humans' greatest secret. It's not their technology. It's not their weapons. It's how they think. The hologram showed Admiral Korath's shocked face. We aliens specialize. We perfect one thing and ignore everything else. The Corellians build the best shields because that's all they focus on. The Zephyrians make the best weapons because they ignore defense. Zextar leaned forward. This was important. But humans, Admiral Korath continued, humans are different. They don't specialize. They combine. They take the best parts of everything and put them together. They call it innovation. The recording showed battle footage from the 10th Fleet's final fight. Human ships moved with aviac stealth, hit with Zephyr weapons, and defended with Corellian shields. But they weren't just copying, they were improving. "Watch this," Admiral Korath's voice narrated over the battle scene. "The humans took our stealth technology and made it better. Our ships can hide from sensors. Human ships can hide from sensors and still shoot accurately. We never thought to combine stealth with targeting systems." The footage continued. A human ship appeared from nowhere, fired a perfect shot and vanished again. It was using stealth technology in a way the aviacs had never imagined. Day 2 of the battle, Admiral Korath continued. The humans used Corellian shield technology to protect their ships. But they didn't just copy our shields, they learned to use them as weapons. They can make shield bubbles around enemy ships to trap them. We invented the technology, but never thought to use it that way. Captain Zextar felt sick. The humans weren't just stealing alien technology, they were making it better. Day 5, final entry. Admiral Korath's voice was breaking. The combined fleets of 10, 11, and 12 attacked together. 10,000 ships, every weapon in the galaxy, every defense system known to science. We were sure we couldn't lose. The recording showed the massive alien fleet surrounding Earth. It looked unstoppable. Weapons from 50 different worlds, shields from a dozen civilizations, the combined might of the galaxy's greatest military forces. The humans waited until we were all in position. Then they did something we never expected. They didn't fight us ship by ship. They didn't even fight us fleet by fleet. Admiral Korath's voice dropped to a whisper. They fought us idea by idea. The battle footage showed something impossible. Human ships were somehow turning alien weapons against each other. Corellian ships were firing on Zephyr vessels. Aviac stealth ships were attacking their own allies. The humans had studied our communications. They learned to copy our command codes. Our own ships thought they were getting orders from their admirals, but the orders were coming from humans. Zextar's crew watched in stunned silence as the massive alien fleet destroyed itself. Ship after ship fell to friendly fire. Confused alien commanders tried to restore order, but their communications were filled with fake messages and false commands. The humans turned our greatest strength into our greatest weakness, Admiral Korath explained. We had the biggest fleet in galactic history, so many ships that coordination was almost impossible. The humans made it completely impossible. The recording showed the final moments of the battle. Only a few hundred alien ships remained from the original 10,000. They were trying to retreat, but human ships were everywhere. Ships that moved too fast, hit too hard, and disappeared too quickly. I understand now. Admiral Korath's final words were filled with terrible respect. Humans don't just fight wars. They study them. Every battle teaches them something new. Every defeat makes them stronger. Every victory shows them a new possibility. The recording ended with static. Captain Zextar looked at his crew. They were all thinking the same thing. The humans had learned from 12 different fleets. They had absorbed the knowledge of 50 alien races. They had taken the best technology in the galaxy and made it better. "Sir," his scanner operator called out, "the human fleet is changing course. They're not coming toward us." Zextar checked his sensors. The human ships were moving away from Earth. But they weren't going home. They were heading toward the galactic core, toward the Council worlds, toward the heart of alien civilization. They're not content to defend anymore, Zextar realized. They're going on the attack. His communications officer picked up radio transmissions from the human fleet. The messages were in perfect galactic standard language. No accent, no mistakes. The humans had learned alien languages as perfectly as they had learned alien technology. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Human Defense Force," the transmission said. "We are proceeding to the Galactic Council chambers for immediate peace negotiations." The word negotiations sounded friendly, but Zextar heard something else in the Admiral's voice. The same tone Admiral Korax had used when he thought Earth would be an easy conquest. The confidence of someone who knew they couldn't lose. "Sir," his navigator asked, "should we warn the Council?" Captain Zextar thought about it. What could he tell them? That humans had defeated 12 fleets using alien technology better than the aliens themselves? That they had turned the galaxy's greatest military force into scrap metal? That they were now coming to negotiate with ships that could outfight anything in space? "Set course for the Council chambers," he ordered. "Maximum speed. Are we going to fight the humans?" his weapons officer asked. Zextar looked at the wreckage of 12 fleets floating in space. Ships that had been defeated not by superior force, but by superior thinking. Aliens who had been outmatched not by better technology, but by better ideas. "No," he said quietly. "We're going to warn the Council that the age of alien dominance is over. The humans are coming, and they're bringing everything we taught them." Captain Zextar's ship raced through hyperspace toward the Galactic Council chambers. His crew was silent. They all knew they were carrying the most important message in galactic history. The humans were coming, and they were no longer the weak species that 12 fleets had tried to conquer. "Sir," his navigator reported, "we're approaching the Council station. But something's wrong. I'm detecting massive fleet movements. Every major species is sending warships." Through the viewports, Zextar could see the largest military gathering in galactic history. Thousands of ships from hundreds of worlds surrounded the Council station. Energy shields glowed like angry stars, weapon systems charged with deadly light. "They're preparing for war," his weapons officer said. But Zextar saw something that made his blood freeze. In the distance, moving slowly toward the massive alien fleet, was a small group of human ships. Maybe 50 vessels against thousands. "The humans are outnumbered 100 to 1, his engineer whispered. "They can't possibly win this time." Captain Zextar wasn't so sure. He had seen what humans could do when they were outnumbered before. His communications officer picked up a transmission from the human fleet. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen requesting permission to dock at the Council station. We come for peaceful negotiations." The response from Fleet Commander Vrex was immediate and harsh. "Human ships, you will surrender immediately or be destroyed. You have attacked our worlds. You have stolen our technology. You will face justice." There was a pause. Then Admiral Chen's voice came back, calm and confident. "Commander Vrex, I believe there has been a misunderstanding. We have not attacked any of your worlds. We defended our world when you attacked us. There is a difference. You destroyed 12 of our fleets." Vrex shouted. "Yes," Admiral Chen replied simply. "You sent them to conquer us. We stopped them. Self-defense is not a crime, even in galactic law." Captain Zextar listened carefully. The human admiral sounded like she was reading from a legal document, like she had studied galactic law as carefully as she had studied galactic military tactics. "You will surrender your stolen technology," Commander Vrex demanded. "What stolen technology?" Admiral Chen asked. "Every piece of equipment on our ships was taken from fleets that attacked us. According to Section 847 of the Galactic War Accords, weapons captured during defensive operations become the property of the defending force." Zextar's crew looked at each other in amazement. The humans knew galactic law better than most aliens did. "Furthermore," Admiral Chen continued, "any improvements we made to captured technology are our own intellectual property. We are willing to share these improvements through proper trade agreements." "Trade agreements?" Commander Vrex sounded confused. "Yes, we have significantly improved your shield efficiency by 30%. We've increased your weapon accuracy by 40%. We've developed new stealth systems that surpass anything currently available. These technologies could benefit all galactic civilizations." The alien fleet hesitated. Zextar could understand why. The humans were offering to share the very technologies that had defeated 12 fleets. "This is a trick," Vrex finally said. "You want us to lower our defenses so you can attack." Admiral Chen's voice carried a note of sadness. "Commander, if we wanted to attack you, we would have done it already. Your fleet formations are identical to the ones used by the 10th, 11th, and 12th fleets. We know exactly how to defeat them." The truth of those words hit the alien fleet like a cold wind. Every ship, every formation, every tactic they were using had already been tested against humans, and had failed. "What do you want?" Vrex asked quietly. "Peace," Admiral Chen replied. "We want to join the galactic community as equals. We want to trade with you, learn from you, share knowledge with you. We never wanted this war, but you're so dangerous." Another alien commander spoke up. "Yes," Admiral Chen agreed. "We are dangerous. When threatened, humans can be the most dangerous species in the galaxy, but we are only dangerous to those who try to hurt us or our friends." Captain Zextar docked his ship at the Council station and rushed to the main chamber. The Great Hall was filled with alien leaders, all watching the screens that showed the standoff in space. High Commander Vrex stood at the center, his face showing confusion and fear. "What are your terms?" he asked the humans. Admiral Chen's image appeared on the main screen. She was smaller than most aliens, but her presence filled the room. Our terms are simple. We want membership in the Galactic Council. We want trade agreements with all peaceful species. We want to share technology and knowledge. And if we refuse, ask a leader from the Zephyr colonies. Then we will leave you alone, Admiral Chen said. We will return to Earth and continue developing our technology. But we will also remember that you chose to be our enemies instead of our friends. The threat was clear without being spoken. Humans would continue learning, continue growing stronger, and the next time someone attacked Earth, the response would be even more devastating. What guarantee do we have that you won't attack us? Asked another leader. Admiral Chen smiled. It was a warm smile, but it reminded everyone watching of how human smiles had fooled 12 fleet admirals. You have the same guarantee you've always had. Don't attack us, and we won't defend ourselves against you. High Commander Vrak looked around the chamber. Every alien leader was thinking the same thing. They could fight the humans now and probably lose. Or they could make peace and gain access to technologies that could benefit everyone. We need time to discuss this, Vrak said. Of course, Admiral Chen replied. But while you're discussing, perhaps you'd like to see what we can offer. One of the human ships transmitted detailed technical specifications to the Council computers. New shield designs, improved engines, better weapons, communication systems that could connect distant star systems instantly. The alien engineers who reviewed the data couldn't believe what they were seeing. Technologies that would have taken them centuries to develop, all offered freely in exchange for peace. Hours later, High Commander Vrak returned to the communications channel. The Galactic Council has reached a decision. We welcome humanity as a member species. We accept your trade proposals. We agree to peaceful coexistence. Admiral Chen's smile was different this time, genuine and happy. Thank you, Commander. We look forward to working with you. As the human ships docked at the Council station, Captain Zextar watched from the observation deck. Alien and human engineers were already working together, sharing ideas and solving problems. Sir, his aide asked, do you think the humans will keep their promise of peace? Zextar thought about everything he had seen. The destroyed fleets, the captured technology, the perfect military tactics. But he also remembered Admiral Chen's voice when she talked about trade and friendship. The humans will keep their promise, he said finally. But they'll also keep their other promise. Anyone who attacks them will face the most dangerous species in the galaxy. A year later, Captain Zextar commanded a joint human-alien exploration ship. The crew included humans, Zephyrians, Corellians, and Aviacs. They were exploring new star systems together, sharing discoveries and protecting each other. The humans had kept both promises. They were excellent friends and terrible enemies. The galaxy had learned the most important lesson in its history. Humans didn't seek war. But if you brought war to their world, you had better be prepared to face creatures who turned every defeat into victory, every attack into education, and every enemy into a teacher. 12 fleets had gone to conquer Earth. None returned as conquerors. But something did return to the galaxy. A new era of peace, built on the understanding that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their ability to make war. It was their ability to end it permanently. The message echoed through every star system, carried by trade ships and exploration vessels. Earth remembers its friends and its enemies. Choose wisely which one you want to be.